Clap your hands. Air guitar. Stop your feet. Drum solo.
Hello, welcome to the Easter family bake-along extravaganza. Give us a big wave. Let's say hello, everybody. Good. Wonderful to see all of you. It's great to be here. Happy Easter, Jenny.
Happy Easter.
This is Jenny, our baking extraordinaire. I'm Helen. It's wonderful to have you. Happy Easter to all of you. Happy Good Friday. I just borrowed a little apron here. Have you all got your aprons on? A few of you got aprons on. I just had to borrow one because I forgot mine. It's it's nice.
It's a miniature one.
But hopefully, yeah, it is a very miniature one. Hopefully you've got everything that you need, washed hands, aprons, ingredients, measured out, all ready to go. Jenny, to kick us off, we had some jokes there on the screen. Tell us your best Easter or egg related joke.
Okay, it's an Easter themed one. So what do you get if you pour boiling hot water down a rabbit hole?
Oh, no idea. It doesn't sound good, but no idea. Go on.
Hot cross bunnies.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, not one to try at home.
No,
it's just a joke.
It made me smile. It didn't make me laugh, but it did make the mouth curl up at the corners.
I'm here to bake, not tell jokes.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Maybe you could share some Easter jokes, some bake-along jokes as we go along. But let me give you just a few notices as we get started, just so that we all have as much fun as possible. If you haven't measured out your ingredients, now's the time to do it, because we won't be fast-paced, but we'll be chugging along nicely. So if you haven't done that yet, get on that now. At the minute, you're possibly in gallery view, so if you can see all of the screens, you're in gallery view. Now we need you to switch to speaker view. So in the top corner, or tap the screen on your iPad, find speaker view, and then you should just be able to see us two, and then a close-up of our baking cam to see all the action. So that then you won't miss anything that we're doing. Next, children, you are the responsibility of parents, not us. We can't help you. So parents, please do stay with your little ones at all times, helping them along. We are recording this for anybody who can't make it this morning. However, the only thing that the recording will show is me and Jenny. None of your faces will be on the recording, so don't worry at all about that. And on that note, we would love it if you did not take any photos of the screen at all. Last reminder, get yourself into speaker view because you don't want to miss any of the baking. And we've got a bonus piece of equipment which wasn't on the list. It's not essential, but if you have a sieve in your kitchen and you haven't yet got it, you might want to grab that. That's our bonus piece of equipment for our bake along. Right, I think we're ready to go, aren't we, Jenny?
Yeah, I think so.
Right, we've got a challenge to kick us off, okay, just to get us in the mood. It's a bit of a quiz question, okay? There is a world record for the quickest time to eat 50 cream eggs. 50 of these, okay? We would love you to put in the chat what you think that world record is. What's the quickest time that 50 of these were eaten? And you know what? There's even a prize. Closest to the right time gets a pack of their own cream eggs, which I think is a great prize. These are my favorite. Okay, so wherever you are, wherever you join us from, we will get these to you. So you've got 30 seconds. Come up with your answer. What's the world record for 50 cream eggs eaten? Pop it in the chat. Off you go. 30 seconds. I'm going to set my timer.
That's a lot of cream eggs.
It's a lot. We're going to come to Jenny for a little answer.
Wow, I need to do the maths.
So she needs to be working it out.
Cream eggs.
You've got 20 seconds. Keep thinking. What could it possibly be? 50 of them. You could work out how much.
How long will it take me to eat this one?
Yeah. What do you reckon? But if it's a world record, it's probably quicker than you or I could eat it.
I like to enjoy it.
Yeah, me too.
Leisurely eat it.
Yeah, how do you eat yours? We could have a whole chat about that. Right, you've got 2 seconds. 1 second, stop. Okay, if you haven't put your answer in the chat, put it in right now. And Johnny, our Zoom master, will have a look to see who is the closest, and he'll let us know. Whilst he's doing that, it's going to be a bit of a chance. Let me tell you what we're going to get up to, okay? Of course, we're going to be baking. It's a bake along. So Jenny, what are we making this morning?
We are making some cookies, some mini egg cookies.
Delicious. Can't wait. Okay, we'll also be playing some games and some challenges like we've just done with the little cream egg challenge. And we will be learning about Easter as we go along, because today is Good Friday. This is Easter weekend, and we're going to be learning about what the Easter story means. Because Good Friday is the day we celebrate when Jesus died, which seems a silly thing, doesn't it? A strange thing. Why is it Good Friday? Somebody dying is not good, but we will learn how it is the best swap deal ever, okay? It's a bit like, Jenny, you see that?
It's so small, you can't even.
Exactly. I've got a mini egg. And Jenny, if you get those,
yeah,
it's an even better swap deal than me saying to Jenny, here you go, you have my mini egg, and I'll take these. It's an even better swap deal than that. It's the greatest swap deal ever. That's what we're going to be learning about. Good. Right. Johnny, hopefully, has got an answer for us. Let me see who the winner. Oh!
Then shall I just give you my answer?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Jenny. Yeah, sorry.
Because I've been working it out. I've been doing the maths.
What do you reckon?
I'm going to guess 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that still seems a lot to eat 50 cream eggs in 10 minutes.
That's still pretty quick. The correct answer, and I think it's pretty disgusting, is 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, 6 minutes, 15 seconds to eat 50 of these. Like, the thought of that makes me feel a little sick. I've got, oh my goodness, there are 3 winners. So this is really going to cost me, because it means I have to buy 2 more of these. 3 people have given the exact same answer of 6 minutes. So our winners are Duncan and Margot and Tom Smith. You have got 5 cream eggs on their way to you. Brilliant. Now you know where the chat is. If you have any questions, any queries as we go along, you can pop your questions in there. Johnny, our Zoom master, will look after you, because you will remain muted for the rest of our time together. Right, that's enough waffle. Let's get
waffles. We're not making waffles today.
Let's get baking, Jenny. Go on.
Right, so hopefully you've got a nice mixing bowl here. I've got a nice big one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to preheat our oven. So this is for the grown-ups. Get your oven, put it on to, what did I say? I think 180.
180, yeah.
We'll go 180. I've put my oven on. That's a very important step, otherwise they won't bake. And then hopefully you've got 1 or maybe 2 baking trays. I've actually only got 1, and that's fine. I'm going to grease my baking tray. So I've got a little bit of greaseproof paper and some butter.
Could you use, would baking parchment do if you don't want to grease it? Yeah, so you can
use baking paper if you just want to cut that to size and put that on. And this is actually my butter from the fridge, which is not the best idea because it's quite hard to do.
Let's see if you need to tag me in, Jenny. I can't.
Well, I know, you can finish that one off.
Okay, great, thanks.
Teamwork, there we go. Teamwork makes the dream work. And then what you're going to need is you need your butter. Okay, so I've got some butter here. And you're going to need your 2 types of sugar. Now, if you don't have caster sugar and brown sugar, it is okay just to use caster sugar. And so what I'm going to do, can you finish out?
Not quite, no. I'm trying to make sure it's completely covered.
She's doing a really, really good job. There we go. One grease. I'll put that to one side. I don't need that right now. So I'm going to put my butter into, she says, into my big bowl. This one is at room temperature. That one was from my fridge. So it's sticking nicely to the bottom. So there we go. I've got my butter in there, and then my 2 types of sugar. So my caster sugar, which I think was 50 grams, and then my, this is the dark brown sugar. That makes it kind of extra gooey and sugary. And
smells a bit like treacle. I like it. It's nice.
Yeah, it does. Now, if you have an electric mixer, feel free to crack that out and use that to mix it. It's a little bit easier, especially if you're a child, because it's hard going. But we are going to, you don't have to use an electric mixer. It's called creaming the butter and sugar, but basically just mixing it together till it's nice and light and fluffy. So I'm kind of pushing it in a little bit rather than just mixing it. If I mix it, it's going to take me a really long time. So if you're using a spoon, I would kind of push the butter into the sugar, if that makes sense.
That's good. No, we can see on the camera.
We've done a nice little push action rather than just getting it everywhere.
Good. So there's a fair bit of mixing required.
So I've even made a mess on the side already.
On the theme of mixing, or mix, tell me, what is the first sweet you put into your pick and mix? What's your favourite?
Pick and mix.
Keep mixing though.
Sorry, yeah, I'm getting distracted by I like like a really sugary, like tangy, kind of like a Haribo Tang plastic type thing.
Yeah.
Or a sherbet lemon.
Oh, really? Oh, I'd go with the first one I would call an Astro Belt. I go with that.
Oh, okay.
Sherbet lemon, absolutely not. My favourite is a jazzy. So it's like the little chocolate discs with the hundreds and thousands little bibbly bits on top. That's my favourite. Okay, next mix question. Is it my turn?
I'm going to give you a turn. Yeah, there we go.
Next mix question is, what's your favourite mix of food or flavours?
Mix of food and flavours.
Your favourite combination?
Chocolate mixed with most things.
My
little girl Kezzy, she mixes hummus with blueberries.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it good?
I've not tried it. I don't think it's cheese. So I don't think it's very good. Not mix. I want to try.
No, I think I would pass also. My favourite would be cheese and crackers. So not a sweet thing, but cheese and crackers. Or even, if I want to make it sweet, cheese on crackers with jam. Honestly, don't knock it.
Jam!
Yeah, no. It's delicious. I used to have it at my grandma's house when I was a little girl for my supper. Every night I went to stay with her. It is delicious, I'm telling you.
With chutney, yeah.
It was the same thing. Jam, chutney.
Yeah.
Okay, how's that looking?
Yeah, that's looking quite good. So hopefully you can see there, it's kind of smooth together. You can't see lumps of butter. It's all one kind of paste, I guess you could describe it as. Good.
Right, well, you might need to do a little bit more mixing. That's absolutely fine. But my arm's a bit tired, actually, from that. I feel like it feels like a bit like jelly. So I feel like we need a little break at this point. Keep mixing if you're not quite there, if your butter is not creamed, as we've learned. But let's jump into our first part of the Easter story, okay? I've got some actions as we read it. The words will pop up on the screen for you, and I've got some actions because we're jumping in to the story, and it's a story from the Bible, which is such a special book. It is God's rescue story for the whole world. My apron's just fallen off. That's unfortunate. It is God's rescue story for the whole world. And we are jumping in at the very heart of the rescue, the day that Jesus dies, the very first Good Friday. So I've got a couple of actions. Whenever we read the word dark or darkness, I want you to cover your eyes like this, okay? And whenever we read here the word cry, I want you to do like this, as if you're crying out a shout, okay? So listen out for darkness and cry. Right, let's have a look on the screen and read along with me. At noon, the whole country became dark. Good. This darkness lasted for 3 hours. At about 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. Now that's strange, isn't it? That's not English, obviously, but it tells us what it means. This means, my God, why have you left me alone? That's what Jesus says. And then a little bit later on, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, then he died. Now, I don't know if you've ever been somewhere really, really dark. Maybe if you've been camping, you know, when there's like no light at all, there's nothing at all that gives any light apart from the moon. It's so, so dark. It's a bit of a problem, isn't it? You come out of your tent and you can't see anything. I've had that once. The darkest place I've ever been was in Africa, which is really cool. And we went on safari and we arrived in this safari park and it was completely dark. No street lights, no houses, complete blackness. We had to sleep in a little hut, which was actually on the edge of this game park where wild animals could just wander around. It was crazy. But something a bit awkward, a bit embarrassing, not great happened in the middle of the night. I woke up and I needed a wee. But the big problem was there was no toilet in my hut. The toilet was across the darkness, across where all the wild animals. That darkness was a real problem because I had to go, but I couldn't see a thing. It was a real problem. Now, in the Bible, darkness is also a problem. Darkness equals punishment. Darkness equals punishment. And punishment is what happens when we do things wrong. And we all do things wrong, don't we? Something we might say, or something we might do, or something we might think. Sometimes we might not even mean to do it, but we just can't help it. But sometimes we really do mean to do it. Maybe when you do something wrong, your punishment is you have to go to the step or to a chair to not be part of the fun anymore for a little bit to think about what you've done. Or maybe you'll lose your treats for the rest of the day or lose your favourite toy for the rest of the day. Imagine this, right? Jenny, can you pass me your egg for your bacon?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine
Be careful.
I took this egg and I launched it across Jenny's kitchen and splat all over her wall. Jenny might say to me, that would be really naughty, but Jenny might say to me, that's it, Helen. You can't take part in the bake-along anymore. Your punishment is you've got to go and sit over there. You can't be part of the fun anymore. I'm not going to do that. And I don't recommend that you do that. But that would be my punishment for doing something wrong. But in our Easter story, who was being punished? We said that darkness equals punishment in the Bible. It was Jesus who was being punished. He was being punished even though he had never, ever, ever, ever done anything wrong. Now, remember what I said earlier? Good Friday, it's about the greatest swap deal ever. It's about Jesus being punished instead of me. Let's play a little game to help us get this, okay? Now, this is what we're going to do. Adults, you are going to be the swapper. Little ones, you need to close your eyes, cover them, and no cheating, whilst an adult swaps something around in your kitchen, okay? Then when you open your eyes, you've got to spot what has been swapped, okay? So I'm just going to give you 10 seconds, adults. Little ones, cover your eyes. Everybody cover your eyes. Adults, go for it. Swap anything you like. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open them up. Okay. See if you can spot what your adult has swapped. Just give us a wave once you've spotted it. If it's really easy, they've done a really bad job. Yeah, a few have spotted it really easily. Yeah, good. A few maybe struggling a bit more. But there's a swap deal, isn't it? Right. We're going to try a different one, all right? And you are going to try and spot a swap with me and Jenny, all right? Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to cover our screen for a second. And when we come back, you need to spot what has been swapped in this kitchen. So have a good look. What can you see? Bits on the fridge, maybe. Jenny's bowl. What is it? Right. I'm just going to turn off my camera. for a second. Oh, we're back. You spot it? What is it? Can you spot it? What's been swapped? Give me a wave if you think you know what's been swapped. Oh, maybe we made it too easy.
I don't think we tricked anybody there.
I don't think we did. It was, we swapped places. No, we're on different sides, and that's not Zoom playing tricks with us. We actually swapped places. Let's swap back. And that's a bit like what happened in the story we just read, the first part of the story. Jesus was punished instead of me. He swapped places. When we do things wrong, we say, no, God, I'm in charge, not you. But Jesus takes the punishment for that. That is why Good Friday is such good news. Good. I think we are ready for our next part of Bacon Jenny. Carry us on, please.
Brilliant. Well, if you haven't launched your egg across the kitchen like Helen nearly did, then you need to get your egg. So the egg is what we need now. So we're going to get a little bowl and you're going to have crack your egg carefully into your bowl.
Yeah, this is tricky.
This is tricky. You could try not to get any shell in there. So you might need, depending on your age, you might need a bit of help from your whoever's looking after you. Right.
That's good.
There we go. No shell in there.
That's well
Excellent.
done.
Do you like my little, I've got a little heart-shaped bowl here,
very nice.
which is very sweet. Right, and then I'm going to get my vanilla extract, which is in my nice tiny little bottle, which you probably can't see very well. And I'm going to get half a teaspoon. So I've got a little measuring spoon, but if you've just got a normal teaspoon, just roughly half it. It's fine. We don't have to be too exact. If it's a bit more vanilla-y, then
yeah, if you like
that's
vanilla,
fine.
Go for it.
Yeah. So I'm going to pour half a teaspoon in there. I'm going to put it in with my egg. So now I've got like vanilla egg.
Nice.
Which I've not tried on its own.
No, probably not with the raw egg.
I'm probably not going to scramble it.
No.
But I'm going to get a fork now, and I'm going to just give it a little mix to kind of break the yolk, which is the yellow bit. Give it a little mix up there. So it all should look quite nice and yellow.
Good. Well mixed.
There we go. Nice little mix.
Maybe we should have called this the Easter family mix along. There's a lot of mixing going on, isn't there?
There is a lot of mixing. There's a lot of mixing.
It's good though.
We are, yeah, it's a big part of baking.
Yeah.
Right, and then we are going to take our egg and vanilla mixture, and we're going to gradually, which means bit by bit, kind of slowly, add it to the sugar and butter mix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour a little bit in, then mix it, more mixing, and then I'm going to pour a little bit more in. Okay, so I might do it in like 3 batches. So the egg does like to dribble down a bit.
Yeah.
You might make a bit of a mess, but that is what cloths are for, cleaning up.
Yeah, and that's what bacon's about, isn't it? It's a good bit of fun.
So there we go. I'm giving it a bit of a mix up.
Good, more mixing.
More mixing. I mean, I don't think you can bake anything without mixing.
No, probably not. This is where the people with an electric mixer are just laughing now, aren't they? They're just feet up, having a drink of squash, loving it.
Although we're getting all the arm exercises in, so.
Oh, how much vanilla? Somebody's asked.
Half a teaspoon, about.
Good.
Just use it.
Good to check.
Yeah, half a teaspoon. Mix it. So that's my first little lot. I'm going to pour in my next little bit. The egg it likes to stick together. It doesn't like to be separated, but it's kind of a bit of a gloopy mixture at the moment.
That's looking good. It's looking more like I would expect a cookie dough.
But very gloopy.
Yeah, a bit gloopy. Yeah.
And on my final little bit. Oh, it really doesn't, it likes to stay in the bowl as well. That's fine. There we go.
Good. I'm seeing some really good mixing going on.
Oh, has everyone got strong arm muscles now?
People swapping arms, people wiping their brow.
Tagging people in to share the load.
Good.
Okay, so it should look something like this when you've mixed all your egg in.
Good.
Brilliant. So now we need to make it a little bit less gloopy. So this is where you need your bonus.
Yes.
Bonus thing. Or, you can just not use it, if that's fine as well. Depends how particular you are with your baking. So you're going to get your flour, plain flour, and you're going to sieve it in. Make sure you don't hold your sieve really up here, because then you'll get flour everywhere.
Ah, yeah, okay. We'll look a bit dusty.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then there won't be very much in your cookie dough.
Yeah.
Because this makes it more like a dough. So I'm going to give it a little shimmy shake.
Nice.
And tap it with my hand. Pop it in like this, and then the other thing I need to sieve in is my bicarbonate of soda, which I also need about half a teaspoon of. So I'm just going to use normal teaspoon because I made my measuring spoon all vanilla-y.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to use about half a teaspoon. I think they say with baking you should be really accurate, but I'm sure it's fine if it's not exactly accurate.
I trust you, Jenny, because you are our baking expert. So it's okay.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to sieve that in as well. Da, da, da. Again, if you don't have a sieve, then it's fine. Okay. So guess what we're going to do now, Helen?
Is this the fun bit?
No, this is mixing again.
Oh no! I thought we were going to.
I can't believe you couldn't guess the mixing.
No, I'm sorry, I should have guessed.
Yeah,
It's not
I mean
mixing.
that's more mixing.
Yeah, okay. It is the family Easter mix along. We'll
Yeah, it's
change
the
the
family
name right
mix.
now.
Yeah, mix along. The mix along. Right. Do you want a little turn of mixing?
Yeah, go on.
There you go. You can have a little mix.
I've been stood here just watching you do all the hard
And
work.
this is when you probably don't want an electric mixer. I forgot to say that because this is going to become a dough. So you actually do want a spoon for this bit. So if you started with an electric mixer, sorry everyone,
Stand down.
get a spoon and probably not a whisk, a spoon for this bit because it's going to become doughy.
Okay. Is this the right action again? You're shoving it, pushing it around?
You can kind of shove it around. You can mix it a bit more this time because.
Okay. So it's okay, you can say, no, Helen, that's not correct. Do it this way.
And then we'll get to Helen's excited for the fun bit.
Oh, the next bit is my favourite bit. And I reckon it's going to be everybody else's favourite bit as well.
Apart from the eating.
Oh, yeah, of course. Goes without saying.
Which is always the best bit.
Yeah. Right. Let you
Oh,
finish
look
off.
at this. So, Helen, you've done a good job actually here.
Thanks.
There you go. Maybe next year, Helen will be doing the baking of the
Maybe we'll swap places.
mix
again.
Right. So, as you can see, mine has become like a dough because it is a dough. So it's not like a dough, it is a dough.
Yeah.
So it's a nice thick dough. So hopefully you can't really see your flour, you can't see your separate ingredients, you can just see your dough. Oh, I think I've missed the salt out actually, but that's fine. It'll be sweeter.
Could you add it in?
We'll try it.
Would that ruin it? I
mm,
mean, I don't really know why there is salt in it.
I don't know, and it's literally the tiniest bit of salt, so I'm going to say it's fine.
But if it all goes wrong, you know that it's Jenny's fault because she forgot the salt. So there we go.
Can't forget the little things. Okay, so then once you've got a dough, this is where we're going to get, well, it'll be fun. Right, I've got my mini eggs here. I know there's been a bit in Bicester where we are, there's a bit of a, I mean, Helen was up last night trying to get mini eggs from the shop at
It's
like
as bad as the
10:30 at night. Yeah. So mini eggs, or you could have something similar. That is fine. And I've got my mini eggs, and I've got a bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my mini eggs in a bag like this. I'm going to shut the bag. Then I'm going to get a rolling pin, but you could use like a wooden spoon or something if you didn't have a rolling pin. Something you can bash with. So here's my rolling pin, and you've got to be careful because you don't want to hit it on your face.
Now hold on, before we start bashing, because I feel like there's a few people out there who will get carried away for sure. What do we want? Do we want it like dust? Or what do we want from this?
You don't want it to be dust.
Okay.
Because you might not taste it.
Right.
You want little pieces. So maybe each kind of mini egg in like kind of fours. Obviously you can't do that exactly.
No, okay.
So some are bigger, that's fine, because it will go in the oven and it'll melt a bit.
Okay.
But you don't want whole eggs, but you also don't want it to look like flour.
Okay, fine. Right. Should we go? Why don't we do like a swap? Because it's hard work. Like you do 3 hits and then I'll do 3.
Three hits.
Right,
Okay.
I'll count you in. Okay.
Ready?
1, 2, 3, swap. Okay, my turn. 1, 2, 3, swap.
Looking good.
1, 2, 3,
Oh,
swap.
I did an extra
Oh, you
there.
did. 1,
I was getting carried away.
3, swap.
Oh, it's hard to swap on. Stop.
Again, you've done 4. 1, 2, 3, swap. Right, you can do the rest because you know what you want.
Quite satisfying. I think you all enjoy breaking up the eggs.
Yeah, I think you can still hear us as well. Over the top of Jenny's pounding the mini eggs.
Mind your fingers.
I'm loving watching people just battering mini eggs. It's great, look at them. Fantastic.
A couple of pesky ones that are whole.
And there's some varying techniques. You're going for like the hammer. People are going for like this sort of
Well, you
action
can
as
kind
well.
of roll it. I don't know. Like, would that work? Maybe
No,
not.
I don't know.
Okay. I think mine is done. It's quite fun though. So
Yeah.
you can see what mine look like there. Here you go. Little kind of pieces. I can still tell. Ooh, There's obviously a hole in my bag, or I've made a
yeah.
hole. But there's the dust we talked about. Yeah. Okay, how are we doing with our egg bashing?
Still a few
I
people
still
doing
see
it.
some people with their rolling
I
pins.
think there's a few people in danger of creating the dust we spoke about.
The bashing of the...
Yeah. Go on, they can catch up. It's all right.
Okay,
Go on.
so I'm going to get my dough, and this is my final kind of mix. There we go, final mix. I'm going to get my bag, and I'm going to pour my eggs, well, what's left of my eggs, into my dough.
Oh, it's looking
Guess
good.
what I'm doing?
You're mixing, of course you are.
I'm mixing it all up. And this is more kind of pushing it to make sure your eggs are not all in one cookie, because it'd be a bit sad if you took a nice bite of a mini egg cookie and it wasn't
There's
mini
no
eggs.
mini eggs.
There was no mini eggs because it was all in someone else's.
Yeah, that would be
It was
sad.
all in your mum's egg cookie instead, and she got all of the mini eggs.
Yeah, I'm nice for your
Gutted.
mum, but yeah,
Yeah.
not so good for you.
So it then should all kind of, again, stick together like a dough. So that's mine. Mini egg cookie dough. Done. Brilliant.
Oof.
Then I'm going to need my greased baking tray, or if you've got two, brilliant. Otherwise, you can just do two rounds of it, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cook the first batch, and then I'm going to cook the second batch. So I've made such a mess here. Right, got my, I'm going to get another teaspoon, and I'm basically going to do lumps of my dough on my teaspoon. You want them to be about the same size, so I'm going to do this much.
So it's like a heaped.
It basically kind of makes a little ball. You don't need to flatten it down. It will melt in the oven, and I'm going to try and put 9 on here.
So you need to space them out a little bit.
Space them out. I'm going to do a nice 3 by 3 on mine, but it depends what size your baking tray is.
Because we should have enough for 18 cookies altogether.
About 8, yeah.
So
Depends
9.
how big a scoop you do. Yeah, how generous you are with your scooping out. So I'm going to make a nice little square here of mine. 3 by 3 by 3. There we go. That one looks a bit small. That's a stingy one. Let's add a little bit more to that. So I don't want to eat that one. It's too small. Okay. So I've got my lovely balls. You don't need to squash them down, like I said. You can keep them as well, because then they get nice and kind of squidgy in the middle. So they still stay nice and a bit gooey.
Looking good.
Oh, there we go. There is mine. I've still got some dough left for my next batch. There we go. There's my 9 cookies. And then this is where you definitely need to hand it over to the grown-ups. So once you've got, and people are still definitely doing this, maybe I can still see people.
People are doing the dough. That's okay.
Doing their dough, they're putting on. So then you want to put them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. And I think we're going to set a time for 10 minutes because we don't want them to burn. We want to make sure that they are, not too brown. They need to be nice kind of golden colour.
It'd be the saddest thing if you go to all this effort and then you burn your cookies.
And then you burn your cookies.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be sad.
Okay, how are people doing? I think we're nearly there.
And people are spooning out their mixture.
Yeah, doing really well.
I think.
I can see it. There's definitely some eating of some mini eggs going on. I have spotted a few mini eggs disappearing into people's mouths.
Some people have disappeared off the screen.
Yeah, they're just
Getting
busy.
so into it.
Yeah. Good, right. Shall we pop
Should we put
ours
them
in?
Put ours in. Okay, I'm going to put them in. And Helen, can you set me a timer for 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
10
Yes,
minutes.
I can.
In my lovely oven.
Big responsibility. So if I get this wrong.
So make sure your grown-ups put it in the oven. That is definitely a job for the grown-ups.
Yes,
Ovens are hot.
Good, right. You can continue catching up, whether you're still spooning out your dough and whether you're just putting it in the oven. But little ones, I'd love you to tune in again to the second part of our Easter story. And to kick off, we've got 2 challenges, okay? So your first challenge is to build something. Your second challenge is to destroy something, okay? But it's not the same thing, so don't get ahead of the game, all right? So what I want you to do is find something in your kitchen that you can build a wall with. Now, don't get mum's best plates, okay? Get something like plastic cups or Tupperware and start building a wall. Go on, you've got like 20 seconds. Go for it. I'm going to go for plastic cups.
Are you going tower or wall?
I'm going, oh, good question. I was going to go tower, but yeah, maybe I'll go wall, in fact, but there's going to be gaps in it. What? There we go. So see what you can get to build yourself a little wall. I'll even push mine a bit closer over there.
I like the Lancasters.
Oh, very good.
They've been very resourceful.
They are, very good. Let's see what walls we can see. There's some cereal boxes, I think.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Good. Like, see how high you can get this wall. Okay. Right, that's your first challenge. Mine's only 3 cups high.
Okay.
Not particularly high, and it's not very steady. Okay. Right, so that's the thing we needed to build. Your second challenge is to destroy something, but it's not the wall. Leave the wall, okay? Do not destroy the wall. What I want you to do is find a tea towel or any towel in your kitchen, okay? Got a nice one here of Jenny's. Get your tea towel and see if you are able to rip that tea towel in 2. Now, don't worry, whoever's tea towel this is, I think it'll be all right. But see if you are able to rip it in 2. Can you do it? Can you destroy the tea towel? It's really thin. Can you rip it in 2? Jenny, I cannot rip your tea towel.
I'm quite glad you can't rip it.
It is a good thing, but then if I did, you'd have 2. Think of it that way.
Well, that's true.
But I am not able to rip this tea towel in 2.
Don't use scissors.
Oh yeah, not scissors, definitely not scissors. It's just with your strength of being able to rip it apart, for sure. Okay, right. It will all become clear why we have a tea towel and a wall, okay? I want you to keep your tea towel with you because I've got some actions again for the next part of the story. So we've got actions for when a curtain is mentioned, and that's when you give a little wave of your tea towel. It's like a curtain, isn't it? And then whenever we hear something about an earthquake, I want you to pretend that you're shaking around, that there's an earthquake, okay? So whenever you hear curtain, give us a wave with your tea towel. Whenever you hear an earthquake, you've got to shake around as if the ground is shaking. You can't stay still. Okay, let's have a look on the screen and read along with me. Then the curtain in the temple split into 2. We couldn't do that, could we? We couldn't split it. It split into 2 pieces. The tear started at the top and tore all the way down to the bottom. Also, the earth shook and the rocks broke apart. Whoa, what is going on here? A curtain being ripped in 2 and the ground shaking. Well, that curtain in the temple, it was much bigger, thicker than this little tea towel. It was as thick as an adult's hand. Just grab your adult's hand and have a look at it. How thick is that? How on earth does this curtain split when it's that thick? We couldn't even split our tea towel in 2. Well, you know what? That curtain in the temple, it was like a big keep out sign, a massive keep out sign. It was in the temple, which people thought was God's house. It's where God was. But there was this curtain saying, keep out. It was there to keep people away from God. Now, remember I said earlier, we say, I'm in charge, God, not you. We do things wrong all of the time. We can't be friends with God because of that. So we have to keep out. And that's what that curtain was there for. We were locked out. People are locked out from God. Now, Jenny, have you ever been locked out of your house?
Yes, I have.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're as forgetful as me because I have been locked out of a house twice. Okay. I'm very forgetful. I often forget my keys and I have been locked out. But maybe if you're a little bit more sensible than me and Jenny, you've never been locked out. But I think in the last 2 years, we all know what it's like to be told, keep out. You can't go in. Okay. During all of the COVID lockdowns, everything we wanted to do, it seemed to be a keep out. Can't go in, you're locked out. Can we go to the toy shop? Sorry, it's closed, you can't go in. Can we go to school? Sorry, it's closed, you can't go in. Can we go to our friend's house? Sorry, it's the rules, you can't go in. That curtain was a big keep out sign. You can't go in because you're not friends with God. But in the story, what did we see? We saw the curtain torn in 2. That means the big keep out sign is gone. The big keep out sign is not there anymore. You see, when I was locked out of my house, both times, somebody had to come and rescue me. The first time it was a locksmith with special tools to open the door. The second time it was my husband who had to call. He had to come all the way home from work with his keys to let me into the house. I needed somebody to come and let me in to rescue me. Now, in our story, it was Jesus who comes to rescue. Did you see? It was when Jesus died that the curtain split in two. The keep out sign, gone. That wall keeping us away from God has been destroyed. Somebody came to help. Somebody came to rescue. And that was Jesus. That is why Good Friday is so good. Let's read the next little bit of the story. And there's some actions in this as well. So the army officers, a little bit further on, the army officer who was watching, lots of people were watching as Jesus died. They saw this earthquake, and everything else that happened, all that happened. They were very frightened, and they said, he really was the Son of God. He really was the Son of God. You see, it was only God's Son who could come to rescue us, to get rid of that big keep out sign so that we can be friends with God again. Jesus was punished instead of me. Jesus died so I can be free. And that's free to be friends with God as I'm supposed to be. Jesus died so I can be free to be friends with God as I'm supposed to be. That's why Good Friday is Good Friday. It is good news because it's the best swap deal ever. Far better than that swap at the start, a mini egg for some cream eggs. So much better than that. Jesus died so I can be free. Wonderful news. Jenny, I think we need a timer check just to see where we're up to.
Right, what's the time? Oh,
I'm only on 8 minutes, okay?
Yeah, I think I can do a couple more minutes. They're looking good. They're looking good.
Okay, maybe have a little check of yours at home just to make sure nothing's burning. If they are at this point, you've maybe got your oven on a bit too high. Have a little look and check on them. As we do that, we're going to watch a little video together. So settle in, get comfortable as you can in your kitchen. And we're going to watch a video, and it's called The Day the Earth Shook. And it's about a story. It's a story that's written, but here we get a video of it. And it's all about this day, Good Friday, the very first one. And we've read in our story, haven't we, that when Jesus died, the earth shook, the curtain tore in two. Let's watch this video together to understand a little bit more.
Grown-ups, keep an eye on those cookies.
Yes.
Have you ever felt the ground shake? Did you quake? Did you tremble? The day that Jesus died, the ground shook, the earth quaked, the rocks split. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. God's Son died. No wonder the ground couldn't stay still. After all, it was Jesus who measured the ground, Jesus who arranged the earth, Jesus who shaped the rocks. The day that Jesus died, the ground shook, the earth quaked, the rocks split. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. God's Son died. No wonder the ground couldn't stay still. Even the brave soldier guarding Jesus was scared. Only someone really powerful can make the earth shake. Only someone really strong can cause rocks to break apart. The soldier looked up at Jesus. He looked down at the broken rocks. He thought about the earthquake. And he realized something. This was no ordinary man. This was God, God's own Son. And the soldier said, surely he was the Son of God. The day that Jesus died, the ground shook, the earth quaked, the rocks split. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. God's Son died. No wonder the ground couldn't stay still. The Son of God died. Shocking, staggering, shattering. But it was the only way. The sinless for the sinful, the right for the wrong, the maker for the made, for us. What love! The day that Jesus died, the ground shook, the earth quaked, the rocks split. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. God's Son died. No wonder the ground couldn't stay still. So maybe, like the ground, we should shake a little bit. Perhaps we should tremble. After all, what Jesus did was amazing. What Jesus did was super powerful, super strong love in action. Hey, shaky, quaky trembler. Don't worry, that's not the end of the story. Guess what? Jesus didn't stay dead. God brought him back to life again. How amazing! God's Son is alive. That's the brilliant news of Easter. Jesus is alive. We can know and we can say, Jesus is the Son of God.
Brilliant. Good story. I like the bit about, hey, shaky, quaky, that bit. And that's all because they understand what Jesus has done, that Jesus was punished instead of me. Jesus died so we can be free. It's the wonderful, wonderful news of Easter. But you know, it doesn't end today. The video said, did you hear it? There's more to the story, because on Sunday is when we celebrate Jesus rising from death to life. And that's the best news ever. Good. Right. Make sure you keep an eye on your timer and your cookies. Ours are ready. Ours are done. Jenny will bring them over. As she does, let me just say a quick thank you so much for joining us. We hope you've had a great time. We hope your cookies taste amazing. We hope you've learned something about Easter. And you know what? We hope to see two things from you, okay? First of all, we'd love to see pictures of your cookies on our social media, if you can do that. If you're into that, please do, because some of them might not be finished yet, so we don't get to see them. There's all the ways that you can put pictures of your cookies on our social media. Jenny and I would love to see them. Let's see if they look anything like Jenny's. Jenny's look good. But then we'd also love to see your faces in real life. If you are in Bicester this Sunday, we'd love to see your faces, and the rest of you, of course. On Sunday morning, we are celebrating Easter Sunday, Jesus rising from death, 10:30 at Longfields Primary School. And it's even got an Easter egg hunt. So more fun there. All learn about Jesus rising from the dead. Good. I think we're finished.
Yeah, just to say, leave them to cool on your tray for a few minutes. And then if you've got a cooling rack or something, you can put them on to cool.
Brilliant.
And don't eat them when they're really hot, because you'll burn your tongue. I know they look delicious. Just be patient.
Good. Thank you so much, Jenny, for guiding us through our bake along. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful Easter and hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.